Good afternoon, Holly. I'm
Hello.
Ashley. I'll be your clinician today. It's very nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you too.
All right. So today's more of our intake process, given that it's our first session. So let's just discuss briefly what's bringing you in today.
Well, I have a substance abuse problem.
Okay. And how long have you been abusing substances?
For about 5 years.
Okay. And what's your substance of choice?
Oxycontin, benzos. As long as it's in pill form and it's going to take away the pain, I will take it.
Okay. And where did this pain? You say pain, but
It started with my back. I needed back surgery, and so I was prescribed medication after the surgery. But then I just got hooked. I just love the feeling. And at first, I didn't think that way. I would just pop a few, and then I would tell my doctor, "Oh, I still have that back pain. Like I need a couple more refills." They gave it to me, and then they started questioning me after a certain amount of time. They're like, "Can't give them to you. This back pain should be gone now." And then I just started finding it off the street. Um, Patients have given me pills when they didn't need them or they didn't like them. So that, at the time I thought I scored with that, but I was actually taking their pain meds. So I guess that wasn't nice as a nurse.
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you don't mind. The intake process can be a little bit lengthy. We're just getting a lot of information that's going to create dialogue for future sessions with one another. So we will take our time. At any time you need to take a break or you feel like it might be too much, just let me know, and we'll go at your pace.
Sounds good.
All righty. So how old are you, Holly?
I'm 32.
32. Wonderful. And gender?
Female.
Okay. And what's your ethnicity, your cultural background?
So Caucasian, Italian, and Dutch.
Very nice. Very nice.
Good combo.
And how are you referred to me?
I actually was referred to you from the AANA meeting that I went to.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Susan's still running it?
Yes.
Excellent.
She does a great job there.
Yeah, she is wonderful. I've been working with her for quite some time. I'm glad that you're getting something out of that.
Absolutely.
Have you ever been in an inpatient setting or an outpatient setting for substance abuse?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
So this is your first step?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, I'm happy to have you here. I'm happy to have you here with us.
Feels good trying to get help.
Yeah.
Got past that denial phase, but now.
Yeah. It's a big step. It definitely is. I do apologize. I will be jotting down some information as we go, but I'm still completely engaged in the session with you.
Hard to remember all that info I'll be throwing at you.
Yeah, just few jots. No, absolutely. Have you ever been in jail, incarcerated?
No. Luckily enough, no, I haven't.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. And you said what brought you in today was the substance abuse. And you said it's been about 5 years that you've been abusing?
Yes.
Okay. When was your back surgery?
It was, about 5 years ago.
And the substance abuse came, when did you start identifying that this was becoming an issue?
I started identifying this sadly when my boss had caught me taking prescriptions from a patient, and he was just a little like, "What's going on? What is the problem?" And I eventually confided in him, and that's when he was telling me, "You need help.
Yeah.
You need to seek it, or at least go to a meeting," because he suffered from substance abuse. He was, I think, alcohol. And so he suggested the meeting that I went to, and here I am.
Cool. So he was able to let you keep your job and everything. He was more willing to.
I'm very lucky to still have that job, and he didn't call the cops. He didn't have anyone, no repercussions except told me that I needed to go see, go to meetings, and then he was hoping that I was going to get, outpatient. So
Yeah. I'm
therapist.
sure that commonality between the two, the fact that he has also struggled with substance abuse in the past, has made him much more compassionate and much more understanding.
Definitely. He definitely understands and can relate to it. And he didn't tell me his background story completely, but I imagine maybe he was in the same circumstance and he understands the struggle in it. I do have to self-report to him to let him know when I do go to meetings, because if I don't go to meetings, he's thinking I might,
of course, that he understands the importance of rehabilitation.
Yes, which is good.
This is my office dog.
Hello.
This is Nala. She likes to come in and enjoy sessions with our clients.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
That's
she's a good friend that we have in the office.
I like that.
But Miss Nala, we're going to take our time. Come on, we're going to get down. Okay. So I wanted to talk more about the history of all of this. So for your symptoms list, what exactly were the symptoms that you were identifying during that time where it really made you realize, like, this is an
Let's see. So I would wake up and think I can't get throughout the day without medication, without killing the pain that's going through, and thinking that I need it and I can't function, I can't work, and I would do whatever it takes. I would sell things because eventually I had money problems.
Yeah.
And I was spending too much money on the medications that I would find,
issue?
and I would, go through great lengths to get the pills or to, know, um, this is really sad because being a nurse, I would find that vulnerable patient who doesn't do well, and I know they didn't do well on the medications that they were given to, get rid of their pain, and didn't feel comfortable with it. So I would just coddle them and try to, yeah, hey, I got some bad back pain, and they felt bad for me. That's how I would always get their medication. So I felt like I was manipulating them. I was doing whatever I could to get pills, and my husband would be like, "Hey, are you here? Like, what's going on? Like, you have all this energy, and I'm thinking he's super tired after working a double, and are you on those pills again?" And that was another factor that I realized I had an issue. And, yeah.
How do you feel like this has been affecting your functioning within your relationships? Home, work, school, friends, just your usual activities that you do on a daily basis. You can take your time. You can break that up. So how do you feel that it's been affecting your relationships?
I lying,
Yeah.
and that he hates it when I lie. So, and I feel like I need to lie because I don't want to tell him the truth. I don't want to tell him that, I'm snorting them, I'm crushing them, taking them any way that I can. I have them in a little sugar packet. I'll just dump them in there once I crushed it, plop it in for my coffee,
Yeah.
and it's a work. It's affected me in work where my boss saw that, so at least that hasn't been affected where people at work know about it. It's just between my boss and I, and we're working on that, which is good. But my marriage is suffering because of it, plus because of money problems, so that adds on to it. My kid is suffering from it because they're not getting the love and attention that they should be getting. And it's all going to me, my addiction, what Holly needs to get high, and if I can't get pills, I will turn to alcohol because that's easy access right there at least. But definitely benzos and oxycontin. Yeah, that'll definitely take.
What about your relationships with your friends? Are they aware?
No, they're not aware actually. I haven't gotten that far. Mainly because Is it because I just. It's nice though when I did have that little friendliness when I went to the NA and the AA meetings. I got so many hugs, and I'm like, well, maybe I can find friends here because I don't have time for my real friends. Between work, school, the doubles I do, and the shame of my substance abuse problem. I don't want to say, yeah, hey, I got an issue here.
Yeah. It's good to build friendships within, people that share those that commonality that really unifies you. So that's good. You can work on building relationships there.
Yes. Yeah. Got so many hugs. I was like, oh, I'm so loved here.
Those meetings are wonderful, especially when they're utilized properly.
Yes.
What about your usual activities? Just how is this affecting you on a daily basis?
I used to do. I used to go do yoga, hike, bike, and that has decreased. It really decreased when my back went out, but then with the back surgery, then came the pills, and then I just had no motivation, you know. And I don't really eat as much as I probably should be too. So yeah, I'm suffering in that way. Yeah. Not being my old self, which
Okay. Do you feel like you're putting yourself at risk?
yes,
What about your social history? What's your living situation?
I
You
do.
mentioned husband and child.
Yes. Yeah. So we live in a condo right now, and we are able to at least pay the mortgage, but some of the bills don't always get paid, like the electric bill, the heating bill, the phone bill, and that affects my daughter completely. She needs heat, she needs electricity, hot water, so that sometimes we have an issue with that.
Okay, and that's because you're using money to
I,
buy those. Okay. And how long have you and your husband been married?
for about 15 years.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And how old is your daughter?
She is 12.
Well, it's a good age. And you said you're a nurse?
Yes.
How long have you been a nurse?
20 years.
Wow, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes. Very rewarding job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in the military?
No. My husband has.
Yeah.
Yeah, he served a few times.
Army?
Yeah, Army. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, prior to this substance abuse usage, have you ever had any difficulties with substance abuse in the past? Any addiction?
No, I mean, like, when I was a teenager, you know, I smoked a little weed here and there, but then, like, right out of high school, I went to college, and I had to focus on my studies, so I kind of grew out of that, and I didn't have, like, a drinking phase, necessarily. I just, like, you know, college students, you know, drinking. I was all about the book studying, and then as I got older, drink occasionally, so it didn't really start till, until I went and had the back surgery. That's really when it began.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long would you say that you were smoking marijuana when you were younger?
Probably did it for like 2 years at the time I was in high school, and it was like a once a week kind of thing. Did it on the Friday nights. That's about it. Yeah.
And you stated that you've never sought out treatment prior to this.
No.
And do you mind just listing once again the pills that you were using at this time?
So I was using benzos, uh, oxycontin, um, yeah, mostly, yeah. And then sometimes I would do the Tylenol PM if I couldn't get. I mean, I would find any way, and then I would turn to alcohol too if I was really out.
Now, is your doctor still prescribing this medication for you?
No, I don't even see this doctor anymore.
Okay. Okay. So
I'm
you're
kind of
now,
ashamed of it.
that's okay. So now you're just buying off the street?
Yes. Or taking them from. Well, I can't now take them from patients because then my boss will be notified.
Yeah.
And then he said, if I do get caught again, that's when he would take real actions.
action.
Yeah. And I can't lose the condo. I can't. So I have so much on my shoulders of keeping this job, and I want to keep the job. So I gotta.
You've been doing it for 20 years.
Yes. I don't want to lose it.
Yeah, that longevity right there. But that shows that you've obviously been doing a really wonderful job up
Thank
until
you.
then. And in 20 years, I'm sure you've made quite the impact on other people.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
It's nice to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. What about psychiatric history? Have you ever seen a counselor or a therapist before?
No, I only the only kind of counselor I've seen is a guidance counselor, and
Okay.
that's about it.
And what was that for?
Just to kind of figure out what I want career-wise.
Okay. So more of just guidance
Yes.
counselor.
Yeah,
So
no
no-
issues really.
And have you ever been on medication management for any psychiatric issues?
No, no. I do wonder if my mom was on it because I know she suffered from depression, and I know she would see a counselor here and there, but then when she passed away, I just, I was too young when she passed away, so I don't really know a huge history on it, but I guess I should have asked my father on that one. I guess, would that help if I knew a little bit
we
more?
can
Okay.
come back to that too. Our next session.
My father's okay. He doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. He's like the rock of the family. He doesn't really suffer from much.
Okay. How old were you when your mom passed away?
I was about my daughter's age, 12.
Okay. And your mother and father were married?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. They were. They didn't divorce. They were married up until she passed away.
How long were they married for?
Let's see. Probably my brother, 17 years.
What family medical history? Does your family have any history of any mental illness? Any immediate family outside of mom and dad, brother?
Yeah, my older brother. He does suffer from substance abuse, so yeah, maybe this does run in the family. His drug of choice is heroin, and the last time we heard from him was about 6 months ago.
Okay.
He was asking for money, and he doesn't know that my issue. I just figured, why should I even bother? Even though he probably would have easy access, but I'm glad I didn't ask. Yeah, he was calling for money, and I said, we can't help you anymore. This is just going to feed your addiction. And he hung up, and he was talking about how he was living under a bridge, and that was it.
Now, did he start off with using heroin?
No, he started off with, as a teen, marijuana. He was drinking when he was younger. He was drinking a lot. And then he did coke. And then when he got into coke, that's kind of when we stopped talking to each other. That's kind of when the relationship went downhill. And then I heard he got into heroin, and then
But he would still reach out for money.
Yes.
When he needed stuff.
Yeah, not for holidays, just when he needs money.
Okay. And you said mom and dad didn't suffer from any mental illnesses that you're aware of at this
Yes,
time?
yes.
Okay. What about close aunts, uncles?
No, we don't really know. Anything behind the closed doors. Pretty good.
What about medical history? Have you had any injuries that have required you to have any hospital stays or
Yeah,
any treatments?
the back surgery is the one where I was working a really long shift, and this was Christmas Day, and I thought I was supposed to have the day off, and it was just really stressful. I fell, and I felt really bad on my back, and got twisted, and I couldn't walk. So that week they ended up doing the surgery. So I was at the hospital for about a month, and I went to have a little bit of rehab to kind of get back into motion, and I had to see physical therapy, occupational too. So I was losing sensation, so just getting those motor functions back. It took a while, and I was popping, it was like candy. I was not thinking this was, well, I'm in pain, I'm in pain, I'm in pain. Isn't this what we're supposed to do? But that's what I was thinking. But yeah, back surgery is probably the biggest and the only one, besides my wisdom teeth.
So no other health conditions at all? No. Are you currently on any medications?
Not right now. Well, except for birth control, but that's about it.
Do you have any allergies?
Nuts. Which stinks because I used to love peanut butter.
And how often do you see your primary care? Do you see them regularly for your routine visits?
Yeah, now I have been. I was trying to stay away. Yeah, it is really good. The last time I saw my primary care doctor was 3 months ago. I had a physical exam and
And everything was good?
yes.
So
Blood
nice and
work.
healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
said no to any prescribed medications.
Yes. I made that the point. I was like, no, I can't go down that road. I mentioned I was admitting to my substance abuse to my primary care doctor, finally, talking about it more and um, getting that word out. So it was good. They support me in
Okay. And have you guys ever discussed seeing like a pain management specialist or
that.
go to a pain clinic?
No, someone did mention in the meetings, but I didn't think that was possible. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe something to discuss with your
Yeah.
primary care physician.
Okay, so I just talked to my primary. Okay, all right, I'll mention that.
How frequently do you attend the NA meetings?
About 2 to 3 times a week. Yeah, I need a lot of support. This is not easy.
Yeah. And who referred you?
To the NA?
Yes.
My boss. Yeah.
So during the intake, we typically do something that's called a mini mental status examination.
Okay.
It's just a couple questions that I usually go over. Some of it's a little interactive where it requires you to draw. Don't worry, we're not judging you based off on your drawing skills.
Okay, good. Not the best artist.
No. So here we go. I'll give you that sheet of paper for you to utilize.
Yeah.
So Holly, what is the year?
2019.
And the season?
Summer.
What's the date?
Today is August 18th. No, yeah, 18th, 2019.
And the day of the week?
Sunday,
And the month.
August. Beautiful month.
That it is. Where are we now, Holly?
We're in Worcester,
State?
Massachusetts.
County?
Worcester?
Town and city?
Worcester.
Are we at a hospital?
No.
So I'm going to name 3 unrelated objects, clearly and slowly, and then I'm going to ask you to name all 3 of them. Paper, pencil, phone.
I'm gonna read it back to you.
Correct.
Okay. Paper, pencil, phone. Feeling the nerves.
It's okay. Take a deep breath. They're just questions. So I would like you to count backwards from 100 by sevens. Stop after 5 answers.
So 93. 86. 79. Alright, I'm already lost.
That's okay. Alright, so we can do an alternative.
Okay.
I will have you spell the word world backwards.
Oh, okay. This I think I can do. DLROW. Did I do okay on that one?
Alright.
I'm sure you can't tell me.
Moving on to the next question. Okay, so earlier I told you to name the names of 3 things. Can you tell me what those 3 things were?
Paper, pencil, and phone.
So I'm going to show you 2 objects. Cup. Cards. Can you tell me what these are?
Coffee and Uno cards.
Can I have you say the words no, ifs, ands, or buts?
No ifs, ands, or buts. Sounds so silly.
So I'm going to have you take this piece of paper that's right here in front of you.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you fold it in half with your right hand. Take the paper in your right hand.
Yeah.
Fold it in half and put it on the floor.
Mind if I grab the paper again?
Oh, we're going to keep it down there.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to have you make up and write a sentence about anything. The sentence must contain a noun and a verb. So I will have you take this piece of paper and write any sentence. And again, it has to have a noun and a verb. So we're going to have you draw another picture once again. So I'm going to have you take a look right here at this picture. You can use that as a guideline. Take your time.
Yeah.
No rush.
This one might be a little tricky. Let's see. Believe it or not, art runs in the family, but I don't know who's got it.
You can take your time.
Upside down or something. Let's see. Close enough.
Well, that completes that portion. Okay. So what I would say for a recommendation, given the feedback that I've gotten from you, I would say maybe we should explore the option of, so there's something called an IOP. This is an intensive outpatient program. So it's not a place that you would stay, so it's not like a rehab where you would be living there or anything like that. But it is somewhere that you would go typically for about 2-3 hours a day, where you meet with a clinician and you attend groups that are there. If that does seem like it is a little bit too demanding, there is a secondary option,
Okay.
which is it's called it's a substance abuse clinic, and it's set up as more like a doctor's office. So it's kind of like your primary care, where you would schedule an appointment at the time that really does work best for you, and you're able to attend those appointments. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whichever day works. Most for you. And typically, the program that I recommend is a program called Clean Slate. You're located in Worcester, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a program that's located right there up on Chandler Street, more towards the Tatnick Square area. It's a wonderful program. So typically with that program, when you first enter in, they do an intake. They set you up for an intake appointment, so you kind of go over a lot of the same stuff that we've discussed today with one another. And upon intake, then, so they color code you. So there's red patient, orange patient, yellow patient, green patient. So for red patients, and because this is your first time attending a program as such, you would be considered a red patient. So that would mean that you're required to attend appointments twice weekly. And again, they are very accommodating, so whether it is whatever day works best for you, and they do have nighttime appointments as well, or really early morning appointments. So you're able to, if your schedule works where you would go in the morning or you would go in the afternoon, you're able to attend it that way. And then, so once you do that, you can graduate. So if you continue to produce clean urines,
Mhm.
then you would go weekly. And then if you continue to produce more clean urines, then you go to biweekly, which that usually takes about 6 months of consecutive clean urines.
What if I don't have a clean urine? Like, say if I relapse.
So if you do relapse and they don't consider it a relapse. We
Okay.
try to reframe that word. So we look at it as more of a,
Okay.
now let's get into join our session once again.
Yeah.
We look at it more as just a little hiccup in the road. So if that does happen, you usually remain on the same schedule. So if you're weekly at that time, you'll remain weekly. But if you do continue to produce, positive tox screens, you will be decreased back to twice weekly. So because we consider that you need more support at that time.
Yes.
So if you
that
need
makes
more
sense.
support, then we're going to bring you in more. They do have a substance abuse counselor on site that you are able to utilize.
All
And
the
they
time
have,
on there?
yes, all the
Okay.
time. And they have something called the Certified Recovery Specialist that you're able to utilize at that time as well. And care coordination. So if you need help with job, which I know you have one secured, but transportation issues, psychiatric referrals, therapy referrals, anything like that. So they have a lot of good supportive resources under one umbrella that you're able to utilize.
Good.
So I would probably recommend that be a good program for you to utilize at that time.
I feel like that would be better than going to the other place I own and trying to have to go there for 2-3 hours a day.
Yes.
That would be too much with my work schedule. So yeah, going clean slate, I feel like that would work out better.
Yes. Okay. So let me just write. And I can make that referral to you.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
And the person that I'd be making the referral to would be Heather. And she is our certified recovery specialist. And she's wonderful. And usually what she will do, if it's something that you're comfortable with, she will come and meet with you at your home or wherever is most comfortable, just to kind of give you a little bit more in depth on the program, show
So I
you
don't
some
have to go to the
pamphlets.
clinic?
So you will still have to go to the clinic, but a lot of times she'll bring herself into the community just to meet you, kind of make you comfortable with the program, discuss a little bit more in detail with you and everything like that, and then she'll connect you with the intake, unless you want to just, call right away and make your own appointment. So there is those two options. Whichever's most comfortable for you, I can set you up with Heather if that's something that you would want.
She could come to the home. Let's try that. That would be good. Plus, then, my husband would feel a lot more secure knowing that someone's coming and I'm getting help because me going to a clinic, he wants a proof, I guess, that, show to him that I'm working towards
Yeah.
it.
Which is important, and this will show that you're putting forth that effort, to be engaged in a program that can be beneficial, that can be helpful for you, and then you can continue to progress. On top of that, you're able to meet people just the same way that you're meeting them in your groups, people that are on the same journey as you, people that are trying to establish themselves during their recovery, and then that makes you not feel alone.
Yeah.
And there's so many supportive resources under that one umbrella for the Clean Safe program that I really do highly recommend. And also for us, I would love to see you once a week if that is something that you are able to integrate into your schedule because, we can work on the part where you are working on your addiction, but you also want to be working on, your mental health as well because those two components are really important to be, piecing together during this recovery journey.
Absolutely is. I have a question about Clean Slate.
Sure.
Do you guys employ like other people that have suffered from substance abuse as well?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So those that are active in recovery, Clean Slate, I'm partnered with them. They believe that it's really, really important to have people that have been on the same journeys as you, just to serve as an example that you can overcome this addiction. You can, be an active participant in your recovery, working with those that have, been on the same journey with you. So actually, the Certified Recovery Specialist is actually in recovery as well as the
really?
substance abuse counselor, yes. She's
That's
been in recovery
awesome.
for 25 years.
Okay.
And
This
then the
is Heather?
certified, so Heather is a certified recovery specialist.
Yeah.
She has been in recovery for, I believe the last time we had a meeting, she told me 11 years.
Wow.
And then Ellen is a substance abuse counselor, and she has been in recovery for 25 years.
That's awesome.
And she abused alcohol, and I believe Heather also had issues with those. So she's been stable in her recovery for quite some time. So that element brings a really great component to the table,
It does. I hear their success stories, that right there. It's nice to just see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. All this hard work and suffering and you know, when the cravings and the triggers happen, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. So what I'll do is I'll set you up with that referral, and then usually I believe the turnaround time, they're usually able to get you in within a week.
Oh, that's not bad.
But Heather usually will contact you within about 24 to 48 hours
Oh, that's
to set
super.
something up to meet you prior to the appointment. Just to touch base with everything like that, get you set up, have you really feel out the program. And if for any reason at any time you feel like Clean Slate isn't a good fit for you, there are other options for you to be able to utilize.
Okay, good.
All right.
I feel really comfortable with that.
Okay. And what days of the week work best for you and I to continue to meet?
Could we do Saturdays?
Yes. Let me just take a look at my schedule. What time frame works best for you?
You can do 11 o'clock.
I do have an 11 o'clock that's already scheduled. I do like to keep 15-minute increments between patients because I don't, just so there's no one crossing each other's paths, just to give you guys that secure privacy aspect. So would you be able to do a 12:15?
Yeah, I think that should work. Good. Yeah, with the scheduling, it should work out good. Clean slate. Do you have like pamphlets on it?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, that would be really good to get some resources on that. Plus, I can show my husband like this would be good for me to go to, and
Yes.
this is what you mentioned, and offer it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just give me one moment. I just need to grab the pamphlets, okay? All right. Sorry about that. I'm looking into these old files. So that's the pamphlet on Clean Slate. Just give you a little bit more of a background on everything. Have you take a look at it. And you're always welcome to sign off on a release of information for your husband that if he ever wanted to contact me to check in, just kind of, sometimes our spouses want to know what our progress is. And
yeah, he would really appreciate getting a little progress of what's going on.
Yeah, as long as you're comfortable with it, and he's always welcome to attend sessions with us as well.
Oh, he can?
Yeah, of course. As long as that's something that you're comfortable with.
I'm comfortable with it. That would be really good, especially for our relationship. He would feel like he's part of something and helping. Yeah, if he can help out, that would be really good.
Yeah. I would say probably let's focus on maybe bringing him in around like the 5th or 6th session. Just I would like to see how you're doing in your program, how everything's working, and then we can kind of touch base on a few things, prior to maybe bringing him in.
Yeah, maybe not too soon, but
Yeah.
we're going to get to know each other. So
Absolutely.
that would be good.
We want to establish our own relationship with one another, and you want to be focusing on your own growth right now.
Yes.
Until we bring another component in. So as long as that sounds like it's something that you're interested in, we can be on board with that.
That would be good too. When Heather does come in for the in-home, is it okay that my husband's there?
That's completely up to you.
Okay. Okay.
If that is something you're comfortable with, having her meet, she doesn't get too in depth. It's just more just an introductory, where she can just kind of discuss Clean Slate more in depth. Because although I'm partnered with them, she works for them. She's an internal candidate, so she'd be better to be able to give you all the ins and outs of it and discuss it in further detail. So, I mean, if you want your husband to be present, that's something that's totally, as long as you're comfortable with it.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it a little time just to get to know her at first, and then have him join in and go from there. But this will be really good. He'll be happy to get this pamphlet and get the support. I also need you to, if it would be cool to sign something, just so my boss knows that I'm really focused in and trying to get help.
Of course.
Maybe write a letter about it, just explaining and sign.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right. As long as it's not too much, just because it was really big of him to, not get me in trouble and trusting that I would work on this. So I just wanted to know.
So I'll just keep it brief, just stating that, Holly is currently seeing me in regards to her substance abuse disorder. Moving forward, we will be meeting weekly.
Mm-hmm.
that good?
That's good. And if you could mention that you're recommending me to go to Clean Slate as well, that would really, that way it just really makes me look good.
Okay.
But after you write that, I was wondering if there's like any exercises I should do to help with my cravings. I mean, it's one thing for the support and going to NA and AA meetings for now, but
So there's something that I typically will use with my clients called the 20-minute timer method. So basically, scientifically, it's been proven that cravings typically only last about 20 minutes. So if you can get through those 20 minutes, typically the craving has already subsided. So what I recommend is that you set your timer. So whenever you're feeling that, impulsive feeling of wanting to use or you're having that craving, you set your timer for 20 minutes. You can do whatever you want during that time. 20 minutes. I have some clients that will blast music and dance. Some will clean. Some will go for a run. Some will walk. Some will read. Some will just whatever it is that
Whatever
can
the
take
coping.
your mind off of that. And what happens is it becomes more of a habit. So you'll
Yeah.
find yourself needing to act. You won't really need to set that timer, as you go forward because it'll just feel like a natural instinct. I'm feeling that craving. I'm
Yeah.
going to blast my music and dance. And, before you know it, it becomes less and less and less. So it becomes a
It's
habit.
better.
So I
Okay.
definitely recommend that. That has definitely been pretty effective with a lot of my clients going forward. So I would try to utilize that.
Okay, I might do that before I go to bed because usually that was, I mean, I would always need it sometimes to sleep. So yeah, maybe I'll try that. So just 20 minutes. Do
20-minute
what I
timer
need.
method.
Okay.
And what I would
Good.
say for next session, I would like to discuss, some more in-depth coping, mechanisms that we can utilize, techniques, and we can get into, a little bit further detail. And, at the next session, I'd love to follow up with how everything went with Heather, if you've actually booked your first appointment. So I would say that would be your homework for,
Okay.
our next session. Just get an appointment scheduled, meet with Heather prior to our next week appointment,
Okay.
just to be able to get those things done.
That sounds really good. Feeling
All right.
much better.
Excellent. So next week we're meeting for Tuesday, 12:15. Yes. Okay, correct. All
And
right,
then
excellent.
Heather will be contacting me too?
Yes, Heather will call you, so I'm going to submit the referral today.
Okay.
I'll submit the referral to Clean Slate, and I have Heather's direct contact information, so I will shoot her a phone call today and just let her know that you would like for her to reach out, so you guys can connect and just discuss things in further detail
Set up an
with
appointment.
Clean Slate and everything. So today is Tuesday, so I would probably say she's pretty good with getting back on time, so probably about Wednesday. If for any reason you don't hear from her by Thursday,
Yeah.
I would just have you call my office and speak with my assistant, and she'll relay the message, and then I'll reach out to Heather myself personally,
Good.
just to be able to make sure that you guys are connecting with one another.
Okay. I just worry a little bit. I'm like,
No, it's okay. No,
Thank
okay,
you.
it's no problem. So
And
just
I got the pamphlet and the
yes, you have your pamphlet. Here's your letter for you to be able to
Thank you.
take.
Appreciate it.
And then just remember, have that homework next week, an appointment with Clean Slate, and already connect and touch base with Heather.
Okay.
If for any reason, though, that she has not reached out to you, reach out to me first. But it was definitely wonderful to meet you.
Bringing you to.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
you're
I
very
appreciate it.
welcome. It took a lot for you, and I know it's very difficult to reach out to people to share these things, but I really do appreciate that you have shared all this with me, and I definitely look forward to working with you in the future.
I look forward to it too.
Excellent. Again, let me walk you out. It was wonderful.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.